All right, we are live. We are live. Let's run this information. Play a little music for about 5 minutes till people start coming in, and we're going to get into it. All right. What's up, Donnie? All right, all right. What's up, kinfolk? This shouldn't be too long. Donnie, if you're still here, type a number one if you can. Me. Anybody listening? Type a number one in the chat if you can hear me well. Let me make sure my audio's proper. So, I wanted to discuss what a blackamoor is. What's the title? Blackamoors or a blackmoor, right? A lesson of who or what a blackamoor is, right? So there's been some confusion, right? On are they saying a blackmoor or blackamoors, or is a blackamoor a people? Is it art, jewelry, figurines? I mean, there's been a lot of confusions, which I cleared up 10 years ago. I made a video stating that blackamoors is not a people, it's jewelry, art, and figurines of pitch black exotic art of servants. So in a lot of the arts, they're serving a lot of the figurines. Then you just have some jewelry, you know what I mean, with exotic black art, and it's beautiful art. I'm not knocking Blackamoor art. I actually would like some for myself, right? So Blackamoor art is beautiful art, right? So is Blackamoors a people, or is it just art, figurines, and jewelry, right? Now, a specific time period, some people in history, in dictionaries, and in literature wrote Blackamoor is a people or referring to people. I've seen it. I said this 10 years ago when I made a video. So a couple fellas tried to debunk me and say my video was wrong and got nitpicky and began to critique a video I made 10 years ago. Now, thanks. Now, y'all know 10 years ago, 5, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I was on some pseudo shit. I thought my ancestors were the ancient Egyptians, right? What's up, Kamal? From Morocco, right? I thought my ancestors were the ancient Egyptians. Oh, how I was so wrong, right? So a lot of things in videos that I said 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago was wrong. You can scroll through my YouTube videos and find a bunch of things I got wrong. Just like with any other person, right? So, what we call the conscious community, for lack of a better word, used to always call the Moors who conquered Spain, the Iberian Peninsula, they always used to call them Moors and Blackamoors, right? We're going to get into this. They called them Moors and Blackamoors. So I'm like, why is these cats calling these people Blackamoors? There was no Blackamoors from 700 to 1400 AD. Them were simply Moors. A Moor is a northwest Muslim of Berber or Arab descent. Look it up. Person, place, or thing, a noun, right? So they're a Muslim of Berber and Arab descent. They also have what they call white Moors, what they're talking about Berbers or Arabs, Turkish Moors, Arab Moors, black Moors. And black Moors are usually the servants or slaves of the white Moors. The Heritan are slaves or servants or were. And they were servants of what you call the, just to juxtapose, the white Moor, right? Let me share my screen. Okay, hope we can see my screen. All right, where do I want to go to? Just to get a quick understanding, real quick. Hold on. So here you'll see it says Europeans would distinguish. Let me blow this up a little bit. Europeans would distinguish between blackamoors and white Moors. White Moors and black Moors. Now, we're going to get into why it says blackamoor and how they pronunciated things, not just spelled things, right? We're going to get into this. Real quick, hold on. Hmm. Now, a lot of times you'll see the spelling, because spelling differs between early Old English, Middle English, and Modern English. Here you'll see they're talking about Ethiops, black people, Avogo. You'll say a Blackmore, right? Blackamoor is for a Blackmore. We're going to get more into it. That's not what I wanted to show you though. In different time periods, now let me not start there. Let's just go ahead and define what a Blackamoor is. The guy told me Wikipedia is the first line of defense. So when you go to Wikipedia and type Blackamoor in, the only thing that's going to come up on Wikipedia, listen to my words, is Blackamoor, which is what? Decorative arts. What does it say? Blackamoor is a type of figure or visual trope in European decorative art, typically found in works from early modern period, depicting a man of sub-Saharan African descent, usually in clothing that suggests high status, right? The term blackamoor or blackmoor, why would they say that? The term, so we can all see, blackamoor or blackmoor, why do I say that? Or why does it read that? Because it's confusion in the English language of how things were pronunciated, not just spelled, listen to my wording, how things were pronunciated in different time periods. They spelled black, B-L-A-K, B-L-A-C, B-L-A-K-E, and we're going to break all that down, right? So Wikipedia is telling you that blackamoor is art and jewelries, decorative arts, right? Now, let's get a little visual of this beautiful art. Oops. Okay, here we go. Beautiful art. This is what you call blackamoor art. It's not a people. It's art, jewelry, figurines, right? Let's look at some more. Art, jewelry, figurines, right? Let's look at some more. Depictions of black Africans. We're going to break all this down. Just bear with me, family. Bear with me. I just want you to be clear on what blackamoors are. And on my thumbnail, I have this. I just think this is some beautiful shit, right? It's exotic art, right? Kind of expensive when you look it up, right? Now, from the 1600s up until now, because let's just get these dates down so we can be clear. Around 16 in the mid 1600s, some art in the early 1600s. Where'd I go? Okay, here we go. Andrea Broston, 1662 to 1732, was an Italian sculptor. Blackamoors have a long history in decorative art stretching back to the 17th century Italy and the famous sculptor Andrea Broston, right? In modern times, the Blackamoor is considered to have racist connotations with its associations with colonialism and slavery, right? So from 1600s up until right now, 2024, a Blackamoor has always been art, figurines, jewelry. Nobody in scholarship, experts of Blackamoor arts, speaking about Blackamoors, nobody from the mid 1600s up until now considered Blackamoors a people. There was a specific time period from 1500 up until maybe 1620, listen to my wordings, where 100-year period where people spelled it Blackamoor or Blackamoor, which was really meant a Blackmoor. Because Blackamoor is a compound word with an adjective, which is black, and the noun, which is Moor. So it's saying Blackmoor. That's what the word is saying. No one pronounced it Blackamoor. They just said Blackmoor. And sometimes black had an E on it, so when you pronounce it, it says Blackmoor. It sounds like you're saying Blackamoor, but you're really just saying Blakemore or Blackmore. Are you with me so far? Okay. Now, this is where it all began. People were critiquing this video. For whatever reason, I have no clue, just being petty. But I made this video 10 years ago, but I posted it 7 years ago. Let's go. Incarnated with another. What up, fam? This is Chief X, the God Best, reincarnated with another, with some more common sense science. So check it out. Topic today is Blackamoors, right? And I keep telling people, I put this out 5 years ago and made a whole post about it. I've done a whole research on it. I don't see why people are still confused, okay? Blackamoors. What does it say? Decorative art. Now, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but when I made this video, the entire conscious community had no fucking clue for decades upon decades that Blackamoors were artwork or jewelry and figurines. They thought it was a people who conquered the Iberian Peninsula from 700 to 1400. This is the context of this. Now let me get back to y'all real quick and I'm going to get back at it. Hold on. That's the context. The context 10 years ago was Black Americans and people who were in the Moor Science Temple of America, Egyptomaniacs, and everybody in the conscious community were calling the people from 700 to 1400 who conquered the Iberian Peninsula as Moors and black folk, and they would interchangeably be calling them Moor/Blackamoor. So I made the video according to the context, letting them know, no, Blackamoor is not a people. Moors are people of that time. The first usage of the words blackamoor was in 1550, give or take a few years. 1550. That is 100 or 200 years past the time period of 700 to 1400 when Arab dynasties conquered the Iberian Peninsula, aka Spain. So if it was first used in the 1500s, then there was no blackamoors, people from 700 to 1400. They were called Moors. I'm correct about this. Then again, from 1650 all the way up in 2024, no one called Blackamoor people. It was always known as art, Venetian art, from 1650 up until today. So any black Americans, any people calling Blackamoors people are simply wrong. Now, in this video, let's go back to it real quick because people try to debunk me. Let me make my point. Let's just go to the end of this video that I played.
Or jewelry. It's not a people. It was a term for that specifically. But sometimes you may see some literature saying that a blackamoor is a person, but you may see some literature saying that a blackamoor is a person, but it's a mistake. Blackamoor was never a person in history. Sometimes people write definitions on the internet and stuff and tell you it's a person. Oh, it was a Moor from Africa. No, they're wrong. Some of those things are wrong. If you dig into what a blackamoor is, it's an art figurine or jewelry. It's not a person. If you're a person in history.
Now, let's be clear. Where am I at? Let me come back to you. Let's be clear. 10 years ago, I qualified myself. I said Blackamoor's art. I clearly said 10 years ago, but you can see in some dictionaries and in literature, they'll refer to Blackamoors as people. That is a fact. You can't debunk me on this because I qualified myself and I told you that's what you'll find. So people found that and said, oh, Chief X is debunked. No, I'm not debunked. I said that you would find that 10 years ago. If we're being honest. Now, why did you say it's a mistake, Chief X? Thurman, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the support. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for anything. I'm grateful for $1, $5, $10, $20, even a C note. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, Thurman. Now, in writings and scholars, they always, when talking about Queen Elizabeth and stuff, they'll say Queen Elizabeth of England did not issue a formal decree specially ordering all what? Blackamoors. It doesn't necessarily say Blackamoor when people are talking. Now, I'm just showing quotes people use to talk about the history. And in modern times, we spell it B-L-A-C-K. In old English times, they spelled it B-L-A-C or B-L-A-K or B-L-A-C-K-E. We're going to get into it. They're even talking about here. Ooh, I'm not even sharing my screen. I'm sorry. Did y'all? Hold on. So they were talking about Queen Elizabeth, I of England, did not issue a formal decree specially ordering all what? Blackamoors to be removed from her realm, right? This is what's meant. They're talking about black people or Blackamoors, right? Now, this is kind of nitpicky because the spelling, the pronunciation is all over the place when you dig into this, right? Now, as I'm digging into some writings, depending on what you're talking about, you'll see right here it says Blackamoors. Then up here it says BLACA Moors, right? Let me get back to where was I? Where was I? BLACA Moors. Then it's the E after the R. Sometimes you'll just see Blackamoors without an E. The shit is all over the place and confusing. But I'm going to show you why. We're going to show you why. Now, even when you go to Merriam Dictionary, this is not what I was getting at, but even when you go to Merriam Dictionary, it says Blackamoor, or less commonly Blackamoor. This is a European style of decorative art in which dark skin, usually male or human figurines, are depicted in stylized, ornate form, right? Decorative art. This is what the dictionary tells you, right? But this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, here we go. So they're talking about Moors, right? Let me blow this up so everyone can see. Now, despite such terms as what? Arabian Moors, can y'all see that? Turkish Moors, right? Moors Bronco, it also means white Moors, right? While Berber and sub-Saharan Muslims were frequently distinguished between Moros, Portuguese from Moors from the land, right? They said right here it says black Moors. This is what they really mean is black Moors. They didn't pronunciate it Blackamoor. They just said Blackmoors. But people spelled it Blackamoors. Right? So when you go lower, let me go lower and scroll down. I want everybody to see this. Right? It's talking about English grammar and dictionaries of the time made similar associations with what? A black Moor. And Moor is spelled More, not Moore. It's all over the place, people. It's confusion depending on if you're talking about early Old English, modern English, right? It says English grammar and dictionaries of the time made similar associations with what? Depending on what time period, a black Moor or a man of Ethiop, which I think means dark. The Negro, which we call what? Blackamoors. In here, you have black dash Moors. This is all they're trying to say is black Moors. Black Moors or blackamoor only means black is an adjective describing the noun, which is a Moor. In English, they're just saying the black Moor. This is what they always meant. So you have all these different spellings. Black dash Moors. Right here you have where is Well, let's move on. Let's just move on. Okay? Now, here's the thing. They're talking about the etymology of what, Chief X? The word black. I may have went too far and lost my dang place. So let's do this. I did lose my place. Hold up. Okay, here, let's just start right here. Now, I don't know if you guys can see well. Wait a minute, let me find my spot again. This is kind of tedious, so bear with me. 1579, 1636. I don't know if you can see. Neither there were all they call Blakes in Middle English. They say Blakes, Blakes. 1579. You see the date? Blakes. 1636. Blakes. Right? Later on, after 1650 or 16, let's just say late 1600s, then the K was added. Not the K, excuse me. Then it turned into BLACK as we spell it. So you can see 1740, 1739, 1836, 1800s, 1900s, BLACK. But prior to that, they had terms like BLAC, right? And when did Queen Elizabeth exist? 1558, excuse me, to 1603. So, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where was I at? I done lost my damn space. Where was I at? Oh, since we're here, it says what? A Blackmore. Without the A, they're just saying a Blackmore. But that's not what I was trying to get at. Okay, let's just go to this real quick. The old English dictionary, they're talking about Black and Blake. Let's just blow this up. So it's a lot of confusion if you're thinking in today's time. Old Saxon, Blake, Black, right? Even BLAEC. And when you look at the etymology of the word black, it's all over the place, depending on the time period. You have Blake, you know what I mean? Black and Blake, Blake. So depending on the time period, but in Queen Elizabeth's time period, they were saying Blake, not particularly Black. So if you have Blake, and I have it here. I got to find it. I got so many damn screens up. But when you put Blake Moore, it sounds like Blackamoor. Blackamoor. So it's confusion on the pronunciation. But we all know they're just saying Black Moors. Let's remove these Black Moors. But where was I? I didn't lost my damn place. Okay, so right here, 1579 to 1636. This is Queen Elizabeth's period. And they spelled it Blackes. So nobody, no humans were actually called Blackamoor. They were called Blackmoors. This is a figurine, right? They're talking about a black. This is a bridge, and this is an art figurine, the Blackamoor Bridge. They're talking about this art figurine, not a person, right? So let me just go through these because I'll find my spot. So I had this up Middle English, and I'm not gonna go through all that, right? Um, all the dictionaries tell you Blackamoors are art figurines. Um, uh-oh, my shit freezing now. Bear with me. So even here, there was this guy who was breaking down, right? Blake. Oops. So these were from Blake to Bleaken to Blacken, right? Let's continue on. It says BLAC without the K underwent a final shift as a K was added to the end of the word and it became a new insulting manner to address Moors, right? Today's so-called blacks, right? So look here. When they talk about Queen Elizabeth, it's called the Queen's Black Enemies, the Blackamoors, right? Here it's Blackamoors, but they're just saying Black Moors. Black has many different spellings depending on the time period. This is where the confusion comes in. I told you it was confusion 10 years ago. I wasn't wrong. I was trying to prep you. But here you got niggas in 2024 who didn't understand none of this and never researched it and didn't even know Blackamoor was art until Chief X told they ass, want to try to critique me. Let's continue on. This is breaking down old English. I'm not going to get into all that. I don't want to belabor this. But you have to get into that to figure out why are people saying Blackamoors and where did this come from and why only 100 out of 100 years from 700 all the way to 2024 in a 100-year period you'll see some people spell it Blackamoor. It says right here the term Blackamoor is derived from the words what? Moor and black. They're just saying Black Moors, right? 1601, Isabella Aethiops, Black Moor. Okay, we went through that. We went through that. Okay, now let's end this real quick. Even in these writings, as you see right here, this says Blackamoors, R-E-S. This is what I'm saying. It's so much confusing depending on what time period and what spelling, but they pronunciated it out of their mouths, Blackmore. And in some time periods it became a compound word. Then some time periods it wasn't a compound word. It gets confusing, right? So the history of Blackamoor jewelry. Even on the boat, they're talking about necklaces and blackamoors because they were kind of servants. And this is a man here serving, doing servant work, paddling a boat for the white Moor. Here's Blackamoor jewelry. In the Venetian period, in Italy, they began to make blackamoor art. And this is where the word blackamoor became popular. The conscious community thought they were talking about people when actually they was talking about art when they said the word blackamoor. From the 1600s up until 2024, when the term blackamoor was spoken, they were talking about art and jewelry. From 700 all the way up to 1400, when they conquered the Moors, nobody used the term blackamoor. You do find it in the 1600s only. After the 1600s, it's talking about art. Before the 1600s, it's talking about Moors and Arabs and Berbers who conquered the Iberian Peninsula. So it's a spelling and pronunciation issue that people are confused about. That even scholars and writers of history are also confused about. That's why you see it spelled so many goddamn different ways. But nobody knew any of this until Chief X laid out the information. Just say thanks, Chief, for the information we didn't know. So all these Moorish Science Temple of America people, everybody on Sonetter TV, everybody throughout the history of the conscious community in the last 30 years in this conscious community got it wrong. And I had to correct them. They were calling them people who conquered Spain Blackamoors, and they were no Blackamoors then. The first time that word was used was around 1550. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just wanted to clarify this Blackamoor issue, and I didn't show these other two Blackamoors. This little artwork. I'm gonna get me some Blackamoor artwork. Why isn't it popping up? Oh, there we go. Right? And one more thing. Let's do this before we get out of here. Let's do this. Let's do this before we get out of here. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Where was it at? Where was it at? Hey, Blackmore. Hey. Um, Hmm. Okay, hold on. Let's just do this then. Okay, so let's go ahead and back to Wikipedia, and we're gonna end this. So Blackamoor directed decorative arts, right? So let me go down to where the sources are. Okay, here we go. That's there. So it's talking about Princess Michael of Kent prompts controversy after wearing racist Blackamoor brooch, right? This is a Blackamoor brooch that she has on her lapel, on her little jacket here on the left, if you can see. That's what Blackamoor is known for. It's known for being jewelry and art, not people. This is all I'm saying. This is not rocket science. Mm. One more time, real quick. Let's see what this source is saying. Okay, not that one. Bear with me. This is a Blackamoor. One second. That's not what I want to show you, though. That's a Blackamoor art or figurine. Um, there's whole articles on Blackamoor jewelry, right? You're not gonna see whole articles on Blackamoor being people at all. But let me get to what I wanted to show before I get out of here. No, that ain't even it. This is Anita. Remember the Pointer Sisters? This is one of the Pointer Sisters back in the day, Anita Pointer. She collects Blackamoor art. But that's not what I wanted to show. You're holding the table up. That's Blackamoor art. Well, actually, it's Blackamoor furniture too. Blackamoor, a figurine, furniture, doing tricks and shit. We're just going through the sources they have at the bottom, talking about what a Blackamoor is. There's some Blackamoor art in the kitchen, if you can see. This is a good article right here. New York University, I guess that's NYU, stands for New York. Gaudy, sure, but racist too, unpacking centuries. Centuries. Wasn't nobody calling no people Blackamoor. No time while you guys were alive. They were calling Blackamoor artwork for centuries. Since the 1600s. All this is Blackamoor art, jewelry, figurines, furniture, shit like that. It's not a people. It's not a people. This is expensive ass painting. $624. Blackamoor versus blackface. What are they talking about? Blackamoors. Look at those Blackamoor earrings. She rocking some Blackamoor earrings. In your time period, when they was talking about Blackamoors, they talking about art. So anybody talking about people is off their rocker in 2024. Even from 700 to 1400, you're off your rocker. Yeah, she did a whole article on this. Now, what up next before we get out of here? Blackamoor. You can't show me no articles where people are describing what anyone is describing. These are like full blown articles you can read where people are describing this as people in 2024. A blackamoor is a brooch or pendant designed as a bust of an African man or woman. Typically, African head is typically carved of black, hard stone in three dimensions, right? We can go all day long. Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. Let's see what they're talking about. Come on and kick in. Eh, they sell all this stuff. This is what it is. You don't see no people popping up. They talking about no black folk. They talking about art. Art. Furniture. Right? So this case is closed. Let me read a few comments. What's up, Stoic? What's what's up, Akachi? All right, we back to me. So Just to clarify what I did, because I'm all over the place. I wasn't really organized today. But just so you understand what I'm saying, from 700 to 1400, they were called Moors, not Blackamoors. That word wasn't even used or heard of until mid 1500s. Then they stopped saying Blackamoor or even writing Blackamoor in the mid 1600s up until now. From the mid 1600s up to now, Blackamoor was always referred to art, Venetian art. The confusion was from like around 1550 to 1650. The pronunciation and the spelling confused people. When they really meant a black Moor, people spelled it Blackamoor. But they were just saying a black Moor. Or BLACKE Moor. So I showed you all kind of varieties, about 10 different varieties and spellings people used. It's a bunch of confusion. My point is, Chief X had to let people know Blackamoor is art and Moors are people. Blackmoor or Blackamoor is just saying black Moors. That's all it's saying. The adjective is describing the noun. What type of Moor? A black Moor. I showed you they had Arab Moors, as they showed Turkish Moors, white Moors, black Moors. Nobody would pronunciate out of their mouth Blackamoor. They were saying black Moors. And they just spelled it in various different ways depending on the time period. That's it. It's not that big of a deal. Calm down. So it's a lot of confusion in scholarly circles, historical circles, and in the conscious community. So this is all the clarity I can give you, and I'm done talking about this subject. Peace out, y'all.